Howdy, howdy everyone. I am here with another quick guide to help you survive in Chernarus for Livonia. Today, we're talking about, what was it? POX or POX gas poisoning. I have had the misfortune of having that POX cells falling, on top of all around Chernarus, so I thought I would toss together a little quick guide today on POX sickness and what to do. You get a very limited time to get out of the area when one of those shells fall, and after that shell goes off, your character will get sick pretty quickly and more than likely will require medical intervention. You can, on a side note, completely prevent the gas exposure sickness simply by wearing a full NBC suit and gas mask with a filter. I'll go into detail about that later in a different video, but right now, let's talk about what to do when you are exposed to the POX gas. POX gas poisoning is a staged disease similar to others in the DayZ world, with the exception being that POX sickness, the stages are determined by the length of time you are exposed to the gas itself. Stage 1 happens after you enter a gas zone. Before the sickness icon typically shows up. As long as you are in the gas for under 25 seconds, you'll have stage 1 of the POX disease. The only side effect of that is that you will only produce tainted blood for 15 minutes after exposure. You can kind of kick that a little bit quicker if you do need to make a non-tainted version of a blood pack with some tetracycline. With stage 1 of the sickness, those tainted blood bags that you create are not useful for eliminating POX poisoning in you or anyone else. It does not, however, transfer the disease to anyone that should get that transfusion. Stage 2 is where that "oh crap, I'm sick" germ symbol in your heads up display is absolutely going to show up, and that is after you have been exposed for 25 seconds to the gas. That's where you'll transition into stage 2 of the sickness. Your person may or may not still be bleeding or randomly developing bleeds as it goes, not to mention that you will be coughing and vomiting periodically. Specifically, your character will cough every 20 to 40 seconds, and you will take 50 blood damage every single time your character coughs. Each time that your character vomits, which is every 3 to 5 minutes, it will deal a whopping 250 blood damage. After a minute and 20 seconds of exposure to the gas, your character will start taking shock damage and most likely be knocked unconscious. At this stage, your character will take 3 points of health damage until the respawn screen occurs. Now that we've got all of the bad stuff out of the way, let's talk about how we go about fixing this. Gas poison technically has 4 cures. Kind of. It depends entirely on what stage you are currently in when you start trying to talk about cure. When your character is in stage 1 of the disease, that means you've been exposed to the gas but less than 25 seconds. Tetracycline or time will help fix it so you can produce healthy blood bags again. If you just wait 15 minutes, that is more than enough time for the POX to get out of your system. Where this changes is when you get to stage 2 and stage 3. So longer than 25 seconds of exposure. When you are in stage 2 of the POX disease, you can instantly cure yourself with a POX injector that you can find somewhat scattered around hospitals, or you can find on some NBC zombies. Additionally, you can also immediately cure yourself with a blood bag. It does not have to be your type of blood, it just has to be blood that was collected from someone who was not in stage 1 of the disease or not administered in the gas zone itself. Stage 3 of the disease, it's a little different and a little harder to cure. So stage 3 of the disease, when you apply a POX injector or a POX injector, it will not cure you immediately. It will kick you back down to stage 2 of the disease, meaning that if you reach a minute and 20 seconds of gas exposure, you will need 2 POX injectors to cure yourself. Or you can use my favorite technique, which is to use a clean blood bag that was not collected from someone who had been exposed and give yourself a blood transfusion, and that will instantly get rid of the POX disease. Not to mention that blood transfusion will more than likely be needed anyway, as once you reach that level of exposure, you do pretty quickly go through your blood beam. So that's all I got for this guide here. I hope you drop back in next time. Make sure you pound the like button and hit the subscribe. It does help me out and helps the channel.